Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
Before we get started, make sure to check out last Saturday's video where we kick off the 2023 charity drive.
Well, October is over, so it's time to get back to our regular schedule.
And what better way to start than to go back to the cartoon? Today, we're taking a look at Rendezvous in the City of the Dead, aka the Pyramid of Darkness Part 2. In episode 1, Cobra takes over the G.I.Joe space station, because they have that now, and use it to destroy G.I.Joe headquarters. They're also building the Pyramid of Darkness, in which no electric devices work. Meanwhile, Shipwreck and Snake Eyes are trying to infiltrate Cobra's factory. They're in a bit of trouble as the computer doesn't recognize their voice print.
Hail Cobra Commander! The Great Snake rules forever! Exterminated! Exterminated!
Today, the role of Cobra Robot will be played by a Dalek. Luckily, it's Polly to the rescue!
Starship bombs! Starship bombs! Starship bombs! Starship bombs! Enter and get to work.
They managed to plant a homing device on one of the cubes that will be used for the pyramid. They even explained the animals away.
Just don't tell Destro who told you to take them.
Destro owns those animals?
Well, Hitler had a canary.
Hitler had a dog. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the only time that name comes up in G.I. Joe. Probably for the best considering Cobra Commander's uniform. With G.I. Joe HQ in ruins, they relocate to the USS Flag and its lovely Admiral.
But especially when they're female.
Women aren't bad luck at sea, Admiral.
Guess he only wants to be around seamen.
Shipwreck's tracker works, and now they know where Cobra is headed.
Destro. Shipwreck must have tagged his operation. The Devil's Playground!
And so they go after them. Meanwhile, on the space station that screams Stanley Kubrick is gonna sue somebody, the Joes there are being used as slave labor by the fatal Fluffies. And hey, they remember there's no gravity in space. Good for them. I'm sure that won't be a plot point in a minute.
Those knuckle-headed dreadnoughts. Man, even old...
You know, I'm not sure it's a great idea to drive petrol-powered vehicles inside a space station. Those fumes are gonna kill them. Dusty has a plan to get to the command center, namely pretending the lack of gravity has made him go nuts.
No more! No more! You need gravity!
In all the confusion, he makes it there and gets a glimpse of what Cobra is up to. Meanwhile, the first cube is arriving at its location with Destro himself in charge, but the Joes are right behind him. Cobra's defenses are surprisingly robust as they take out all the Sky Strikers.
Not used to seeing that.
Back at the factory, Shipwreck and Snake Eyes are trying to figure things out.
That laser disc programs the assembly line. Everything headquarters needs to know.
Okay, laser discs were first released in 1978, but the tech was still fairly new and exotic in the mid-80s, so it's a nice inclusion here. They get discovered, but two armed soldiers are no match for a parrot, and so they begin their escape. Back on the space station, where they've put up the Christmas lights apparently, Dusty is putting a wiretap of sorts in the communications array, so anything Cobra transmits will be picked up by the Joes.
Hey, random question.
Why did they assign the Desert Trooper to the space station? Anyway, there's some shenanigans with the fatal Fluffies that I was gonna skip.
But then this happens.
And after the ad break, we go back in time a few seconds, and he doesn't use his flame breath. Written themselves into a corner, had they? Anyway, the bugging works and the Joes learn exactly where Cobra is headed with the other cubes, including the City of the Dead, the place the episode is named after, and mentioned here 15 freaking minutes into a 22-minute episode.
If we don't start retaliation, we're sunk, and that's no bunk. Roadblock said retaliation, didn't he?
So, from this point on, Roadblock will be voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
He does bring his own unique leadership to the mission.
You two dingbats never headed a mission before, so shape up now, or this goes pow!
At the same time, Alpine and Bazooka head to a frozen mountain where another cube is gonna be installed. Shipwreck and Snake Eyes are still escaping, but are spotted by the most Looney Tunes bunch of Cobra troops I've ever seen. I mean, just look at them jumping and waving their arms and fists. What follows is a chase scene that in no way rips off that part of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that came out a year earlier.
Okay, quick nitpick.
They pick up Cobra weapons when they knock out the troopers, but they have Joe weapons for this bit all of a sudden. Anyway, they manage to escape, because of course they do.
And stash these uniforms where they belong.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to stand out or anything, sailor and ninja guy, with two animals. The battle with Destro rages on and isn't going well. In fact, it's gonna end on a almost literal cliffhanger as a cliff crumbles and drops Flint and Lady J in pink, stuff. Yeah, I don't think they ever explain what that actually is. And that was Rendezvous in the City of the Dead, where we saw maybe 10 seconds of that city.
Worst title ever. Cool episode though.
Cobra is still putting their plan into motion, and the Joes are more about intelligence gathering to figure out what the hell is going on instead of taking to fight the Cobra, though that does happen too. We see Snake Eyes and Shipwreck bonding, and the beginning of the bromance between Alpine and Bazooka. And it's refreshing to see Cobra being damn competent for a change. I mean, effectively fighting off a G.I. Joe air assault? That's practically unheard of.
The episode also does its job of making me want to see more, which is always a good thing. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
Starship Pops! Starship Pops!